start anytime.
Good evening, Professor, industry partners, as well as our teammates. I'm sure we're all really tired right now, but this is the perfect solution for you guys. So my name is Deja, and this is my team, Team 15, and we are logging off to basically address the hustle culture that we currently live in today. So before I go through the contents of our presentation proper, I will show you a video so that you can kind of get the gist of our problem as well as solution. Sorry, let me.
Stay in school, kids.
Okay, so now that you have the gist of our problem as well as our product, let me quickly go into the product definition. So logging off is a smart desk lamp and companion pet system for overworked office professionals that help them transition from work to rest by using light cues and a virtual pet that reflects their work-life balance. So these are some of the core features of our product. So the first one involves the daily unwinding of tasks. So these tasks are actually generated by our application. So it's to help inculcate some good unwinding habits among our users to sort of remove decision fatigue. Next, we have the more tasks that they're able to complete on the app, their digital pet grows, and it basically unlocks some rewards as well as gamifies the whole process for them. Next, we have a keychain and lamp system, which provides sort of a physical means to prompt users to kind of take a break from working and focus on things outside of work. Next, we want to do a pet evolution. So this is more like looking forward into the future to increase sort of engagement and emotional attachment between the user as well as their digital pet. So how does the whole thing work? So the user will bring their pet in the form of like a keychain. So it's just a keychain that they can put on their bag, and they would go to work with their pet. So they can dock the pet on their work lamp, which will kind of create this work mode through the use of lighting. Next, when it's time to leave, it will gently notify the user through ambient lights and sounds by kind of like changing from work mode to rest mode. So the user will then go home and put their pets on the home lamp, which is kind of a separate lamp, and that will activate sort of this warm yellow light to help the user aid with relaxation and signal the user to kind of engage in other things that are not work related and help them like prompt them to kind of complete their tasks. So by completing their tasks through the application, it kind of rewards the users with like points as well as like a reward system which can help grow their pet, like their digital pet. So the whole outcome of this is we want the users to completely and physically and mentally keep their work aside and focus on resting and unwinding. So what does logging off actually bring to the table? So it helps create a physical ritual. So we noticed that by actually gamifying habit building, we can lower the barrier of entry to actually changing habits. And habits tend to stick better when there's something physical involved, such as like taking care of a pet. So this helps reduce the anxiety around de-stressing, which in turn influences our work environment and reduces workplace burnout. So this is kind of the goal that we are wanting to achieve. So now I'll pass on my time to Nathaniel, who will be talking more about our people tech.
Thank you, Deja. Now, what sets us apart from our competition? We have four main differentiators. The first being that never seen before, a lamp and a keychain, patentable technology. This is nothing new to companies. In fact, corporate HR programs, mental health programs are widely spread out there. But I would like to bring your attention to our superior UX and hybrid environment. This augments the physical work-life balance currently being done by work-life professionals by using our digital pad as an emotional anchor. In our design process, there are many key assumptions that we had when creating the prototype. Firstly, we always thought about user first. We are looking at office workers who lack proper ways to relax after they come back home. We want to solve this by providing them with visual as well as tactile feedback so that they can relax. And all this done with gamification, with the main goal of establishing better work-life balance. To test our assumptions, here are our hypotheses. To segment our market, we focused on people in stressful jobs, or you might call them always-on industries. These people tend to struggle with defining what exactly is work from home, work at home, work at the office, and home. And we also thought that carrying a physical device everywhere you go, it's a bit of a burden. So that's a bit tough, and we thought it would be good to test it out. Lastly, we also wanted to measure how much we could actually help people relax.
So I guess that's how we tested it, right? With this colloquial method through the mockup. So we basically wanted to see like how does this interaction between our user and the product really looks like throughout the day, and we basically achieved this through a multitude of user interviews with over 20 users. So basically looking at architects, banking associates, office clerks, and IT officers, right? And so we sat them down and said, okay, this is how our product will look like, and this is how it will feel in terms of how it works throughout the day. And we gave them better half the day to experience it. So essentially, we just like asked them to carry this around them throughout the day, and said whenever they leave their desk and when they go for home, and then when they're back at work, just lock it back in, right? Just ask them, how do you feel about this? So we realized 15 out of 20 users that we talked to, they had this talisman effect where this keychain was a companion and gave a physical permission slip for them to like stop working. Whereas the last 5 that weren't so eager, helped us narrow our target persona in terms of understanding that it's because they already set these work-life boundaries, and therefore they see it more so as raw utility rather than the emotional support that it gives. So now that we've validated in real life, we move on market validation.
So for market validation, there's 4 main parts. Firstly, we'll do stakeholder coverage. So for the stakeholder coverage, we have 80 plus stakeholders that we interviewed. We have 4 different validation methods and 4 different stakeholder types, including mentors, product developers, corporate workers, and university graduates. So for the validation method, we started with the explainer video test. So we showed them the video we had, and we had 30 respondents to understand the market interest. Then we moved on to survey to understand what is the quantitative insights we can get. We needed numbers. Then we did customer interviews to get a deeper understanding of what the feature requires. And lastly, the AI-powered interview to ensure we didn't miss any perspectives out.
So we did a survey to identify whether there was first a gap in the market and that our solution can address it. So we asked questions about like time to wind down, whether they do experience burnout as we hypothesized, and as well as whether they experience the importance of winding down. And on top of that, we asked which activities that they like to engage in if given the opportunity to de-stress, which will help with developing our solution further to suit that need. we also received some feedback on why they do struggle to wind down, which for most of us, it comes down to talking about workload or maybe anxiety about what is to come for the next day's events. After we identified that there was a gap in the market, we then ran an interest check for the product through a video test, and it showed high levels of desirability among responders, but it does drop a little bit when it comes to willingness to buy. And that we then conducted a survey, and you can see that the results are relatively similar, but we do have a high percentage of people showing that they still have reservations about the product and in its current state. And finally, this is the AI feedback, and so this is to help us understand from more perspectives, to see whether our product will work across different careers and across different seniority levels.
This taught us three main things. So firstly, we noticed that most of our interested respondents are female. So to tackle that, we want to redesign our product with women in mind, but we also want to not cut down men completely. We want to remain inclusive. Secondly, we also realize that resting from work often triggers emotions of like guilt and stress, so they'll feel guilty when they want to log out. So we want to make this LAN more proactive. So instead of just signaling when it's time to go home, we want it to signal when it's time to take breaks, to make the user more productive. Lastly, we also noticed that the desirability to get this product versus the willingness to pay for it is higher by 11.1%. This shows us that there is, we need to make this product more engaging and interactive. So we want to incorporate pet customizations. But we also realized there's three things we clearly did well. So first of all, we have a clear problem. We realized that most people still struggle to transition from work to rest mode. Secondly, our external cues are also good according to the surveys we did, as it allows users to enjoy cues to signal end of work session. Lastly, we also realized that most people play games. So we want to tap into this market, and our gamification helps us to lock in that genre of people. So overall, our research revealed opportunities to better support users' daily routines. So by making the product more interactive, secondly, more proactive, and lastly, aligning with the audience preference, we aim to enhance both appeal and adoption. Thank you.
Can I ask what are the features of this? Will that be supposed to be LED light and sound and
Yeah.
okay. I'm thinking of how to actually make it happen. You can actually put a Bluetooth speaker inside. Yeah, Bluetooth speaker. Then someone at the back or connected to your phone or something like. Then the you maybe put in then suddenly or you play some far from your phone. It's time to get off work.
It is. I mean, that is essentially what we plan to do in the prototype. Yeah. So it's like this. Eventually, it will be like a magnetic switch. So when you docks on, then you trigger a protocol behind, and then you create sounds and change the mood as well.
Yeah, but prototype means you use the least amount of money, least amount of resources to get the message across. So you have to actually get the.
Oh no! Yes, this is what we did. And we just talk the users through like. How would it look like? How would it feel like?
Yeah. Then you put in then got light. I don't know how to connect the light. Put LED strip then connect. No.
You can control.
Yeah.
I can do it with a cheap microcontroller.
Yeah.
So like someone at the back also control. You like time you sit there and press the button. Blue color like then change the mode. Green color like it detects that you are stressed or what. I don't know. Yeah. So that's then actually when you do your market verification, you get the people to play with it. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can actually do the second time. I don't know if you get value from it. Market validation again. Then you get more. Then you can actually reiterate the design.
I think it would be a nice touch.
Yeah, it's nice but then actually that is much better right? Because now it's only just form factor. Form factor is just anything. The action of doing this. Okay. The next question I have, price point. What is the
Price point?
We actually did a survey on this, and most people are willing to pay from 20 to 30. But
okay? Okay.
It is a low like cost point, but
Yeah.
like if we can get it up to large volume, we can technically drive the cost price down, like our cost price down. Yeah.
Other ways to make it happen. I don't know. Maybe there's like $20 for this thing or the whole thing, or the company has everyone has this one.
Yeah, because you need to.
Alright.
One company was.
At home.
And the
Yeah, yeah.
But we can market the price afterwards. We can convince them to pay more. Maybe when we have the real one.
I think right now it's just with the current factor as it is, it's a bit less willing, to pay for higher price. But with more features added on, we expect them to be more interested, invested into the system.
And that's all I have. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So actually, my first question also relates to the light, because in all of your description about your product idea, the light color is the key difference that you want to like navigate the mood of the user. Can I understand why you choose not to add a light in your prototype?
I think when the prototype was mainly to test the burden of actually bringing like something with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, we wanted to like have them more so understand whether this virtual pad added more value to the experience of the user rather than just the lighting. Because there are previous studies that say that the light itself has psychoactive effects. Yeah.
I think in Singapore also like a lot of people just bring their phone, their wallet, and they don't really bring anything else. So like very digital society.
Yeah.
So adding a physical keychain, that's what we wanted to test during this experiential user test.
Well, yeah, I have a very good point. I think maybe that's why a lot of women would like it, because for me, today I only bring my car key and my phone.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
like I hate adding more things in my pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we may have a bag so we can carry as many as these cute things.
Mm.
Okay, then why don't we just have NFC touch then the light change? It's like for like you have like NFC card, right, or something like that, like RFID on the phone, then use the light changes play whatever sound that is possible.
Yeah.
At least for me, I would definitely like that. You already have a web, right? Actually, that brings another question is that what if the user lost it? Let's you bring this guy that kills staff to come in, right? You definitely don't lost it.
True.
Somehow accidentally.
I think
What
also,
happened?
I was considering also like trying to put in like a tracking device similar to like the Apple AirTag, because if people are going to form an emotional connection to it, they'll definitely be really sad if it disappears. So maybe something similar to a tracking device, a small scale one, so that if people lose it, they can still find it just in case. Because the keychain is really easy to lose.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, one more thing is that worst case scenario, I think you guys should always have an online backup system. So at least that like they can buy a brand new one, but you can install whatever customization you have to set the cute face and somehow the soul is back.
Definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
And it
Okay.
comes from his phone, right? Yeah.
Yeah. On top of that, industrial design wise, there's one thing I don't really understand for this particular design is that why this guy is looking down.
Down is it?
Yeah, downwards. Why is it so?
That is on my part error. Yeah, but I mean, we just made do, and for the interest of time, we just let the users like play with it as such.
In the initial 3D model, it was facing front.
Yeah.
But because we were like trying to model it, then there wasn't enough space at the back to make it face front for this one. But yeah, it will face front.
But to be very honest, I like this way.
Yeah.
This is elegant. But unnecessarily, this guy have to look down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will change the
Yeah,
format down.
people set in so that it can face front.
Yeah,
It
I
was-
think I like a magnetic idea actually, right? So you may have some magnetic section or something like that, right? So this guy can actually look anywhere.
True, yeah.
Oh, true. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, you can turn around, right?
Yeah.
And Yeah, but I do like the shape though. Like I don't know why, like how you eventually end up with this shape like this. Anyone of you from ASD or something?
No, but I like the shape of lamps that you can just hold like that. So
Ah.
I
Yeah, I think aesthetic is there. Okay. I thought someone of you from ASD
No.
asked me that. Good. Yeah, the shape is good. Elegant. Okay. So for the next step, the key thing is the bomb cost. And how the whole thing about the business of this kind of hardware is the bomb cost. Yeah, and also don't forget to add in the assembly, the channel cost, of course the shipping cost, packaging cost. You want to really convince that you have a business, all these kind of quarterly costs you need to add in. Usually with a very thin profit margin, eventually most likely as a startup at the beginning you'll end up with all these things will straight away kill the business. Right? So keep a good profit margin, so at least at the start of 50%. Less than that, your business is going to fail. I will straight away. And for your BOM cost, you can get your BOM cost on Alibaba. Don't get from like Lazada. Get from Alibaba because you have to mass produce it. Right? So it's different BOM, it's different material, it's different cost. On top of that, selling price, whatever you mentioned is not really convincing. But you want to get a little bit deeper by maybe even you see I can have a similar product, right? I have a very kind of similar function, right? Maybe even it's a light with a Bluetooth speaker, right? Like with elegant shape, this elegant shape you will add a lot of money to